faith. We now have somebody bringing up the conflict between
that we've been talking about
religion.
Yeah.
We talk about it, but this is the first time somebody's actually
addressed
connected
in the movie. Yeah,
that these two things cannot exist at the same time.
How weird is it that this film is still so relevant today with the battles betwing religion and science?
Religion, yeah.
As I was listening to this and rewinding it, watching it again and again, I kept thinking, I don't know that you put that conversation in a film now, because that might scare the shit out of a lot of people. And you might also scare, nowadays it's all so much absolutely about the dollar. You might scare off half your audience by posing those questions.
Wasn't that the problem with The Handmaid's Tale? I mean,
to an extent.
If you've read the book, you know what the show is about. But the fact that the stars and the directors and the writers, and I'm going to get some of this a little bit wrong, the stars, directors, and writers shied away from any specific religious conversation when they were trying to do interviews because they were afraid people would not watch the show.
Oh, I've had friends that as I talk to them about it, oh, I've heard this and this and this. And I'm like, well, it does confront that. And they don't want to be challenged with
how
that.
About
So
instead
I wonder.
of, I've heard this and this, why don't you just watch it and then you'll find out if this and this happened.
Well, luckily, most of the friends that I said that to were all like, okay, I'll watch it. But there are a few. There are these people in the world that don't want to have their challenges, their beliefs challenged. And I wonder, again, if a film like this gets made today, because to ever pose that question, that's terrifying to a lot of people.
In a very loose way, that's kind of what Signs was by M. Night Shyamalan. When
I don't think I made it to the end.
That was about the aliens and water. And so you had science with the aliens, but then you had faith with somebody dying on the tree and saying, swing away, swing away. And he's a preacher that lost his faith.
I think that happened after I fell asleep.
You're not missing a whole lot, but there have been movies where they kind of mix a little bit of religion and science together and say, all right, which one is more...
And this is very heavy-handed how much they approach it of, hey, look at this and this, the hypocrisy of this.
My question is to you guys is if there's a specific instance in 1969 that they're thinking of as it relates to science and religion, or if we're coming back to the idea of race relations at this particular moment, which is the clear parallels is intended to be.
Right.
They're talking about religious objections to African Americans and that science. That this conversation, even though we're taking it broader in terms of science and religion,
right,
that they specifically were talking about religious objections to.
That would be my guess.
To probably, race and evolution.
I don't think you had. I don't think you saw in 68 what we see today, which is the use of religion and science against each other. You're either that or you're this. I don't know that was as prevalent at that time.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I think what you're saying, that you can point out the hypocrisy of all of it either way based on race relations, because this is obviously, it ends up becoming a parable of some sort about. I
mean, we had a religious justification of slavery, religious justification of being against interracial marriage, and so on. And the arguments were coming up here. So rather than kind of something that I would think more modern, specific about the conflict between science and religion, they're specifically making a defense of racism.
Right.
That's what I'm wondering.
No matter what, it's just interesting they finally bring it up. We finally don't have to be the only ones talking about it. That how can you be one and the other?
Right.
So it's glad that somebody finally noticed that Zayas is full of shit.
Well, and it's Taylor. I mean, it's Taylor who brings it up.
Yeah.
So Taylor says, except there's also the chief defender of the faith, and then Zayas, the script direction is loftily. Says there is no contradiction.
Yeah, and that's what I want to know. What is his defense of there being no contradiction?
I thought that too.
But I guess we have to find out tomorrow.
I don't know that the way Zayas is going, I don't know that you're going to find out tomorrow, but we sure will try.
Oh, well, at least we'll find out how his sentence ends tomorrow.
Wow, I do believe that is the end of that minute then, the way Sean set that up. Richard, do you have anything else?
I have nothing else to add.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's minute 93. Thank you, everyone. You know the drill. Go rate us, review us, interact with us. Let us hear from you because, again, Sean loves interaction. He is a very sad and lonely guy. His wife even tries to say, interact with people more, Sean.
She emails me on our podcast email to say, hey, look, I heard it when you cursed.
You heard it?
I heard it.
All right, so thank you, everyone, for Richard and Sean. I'm Todd. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye, everybody.
The minute of the Apes.